Hello and welcome back for another vlog. My husband is not going to join me doing this vlog because he is in the living room listening to a live stream. So this vlog is going to be about where we get our items from. And I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. Okay, so we get our items from storage units, our local auction houses. Sometimes we travel out of state, depends on what the auction is going to be. Rarely do we buy off Facebook. We do not buy off Craigslist. However, we do sell on Craigslist. We also go to yard sales. And let me back up. For storage units, auction houses, what we do is there's a website called auctionzip.com. You can go there to look at local, hold on just a second. Hey, can you turn it down just a hair? Just a hair, not much. Sorry about that. Auctionzip.com, and I think you can look by your zip code and you can select the radius that you want to search, like 50 miles, and it will give you the auctions within 50 miles of that zip code. And that's usually what we do. When we do the storage unit auctions, do not bid on what you see written on the boxes. We went to one auction one time and it was full of flat screen TV boxes. There was about 10 of them. The guy paid like $800 for the unit, and when he won it, the boxes were totally empty. I mean, he spent, my face is itching tonight, excuse me. He spent all that much money on empty boxes, and he had to pay the auctioneer. You have to pay when you bid. So do keep that in mind. When you go to an auction, you raise that card to bid, you are committed to buy. It's the same as buying on eBay. Once you place that bid, there is no backing out. You have committed. Also, you can check your local newspaper for classifieds. In the state that we live in, well, one of the states we live in, state law here is that there has to be an ad ran in the classifieds in the newspapers for 30 days before the storage unit or an estate auction can happen. Check the classifieds in the newspaper and see. If there's one that's upcoming, they're looking for whatever, or a notice or anything, write that name of the auction down, or the location where it's going to be. When we go to auction houses, the auction houses we go to, one of them has box lots or individual items. So when we buy the box lots, we buy the box lot for one item. That one item we know is going to pay for the whole entire box. So like if we buy a box full of, I don't know, I want to say glassware. And right now the Pyrex glassware, the mushroom print is popular right now. I just sold about 12 of those on eBay, the 3 sets, the small, medium, and large. I have 4 sets of them. And what I do is, if I know that I can sell both of those, all 3 of those, for $25. And what I done was bought each box for $10. So I sold the 3 bowls for $25. What was left in the box will either be couple dollar stuff on eBay, or it will be stuff that goes into my storage building outside, which will be in a later vlog, probably in a few days, on where I store my stuff and how I organize it. Gee, I got bit today. That doesn't look good. Sorry, I've been landscaping all day long and I just know this huge bite on my finger. Oh my goodness. Anyway, and for that stuff I put it 50 cents or $1 when we have a yard sale. Also, Furniture does sell good on eBay, oddly enough, and most of the time the best way to ship that is by Greyhound, or you can do LTL, which is less than a truckload. There is carriers like you have FedEx, UPS, Conway, Wilson, Estes. You have those LTL carriers that you can get rates from. I'm trying to brainstorm right now because I want to try to make this as short as possible. Also, in your home, your own home, there is stuff in your home right now that you could be selling. If you haven't used it within the past year, sell it, get rid of it, get the money. My husband and I, when we buy stuff at the auction, we either desperately need it or it's going to be sold. One of the two. We do not keep anything. There is one thing that I do collect, and that is ball jars, or any number 13 jars. Case in point, I had bought a box of old jars, and one of them was a peanut butter jar. It wasn't an old one. It was probably about 20-25 years old. Well, it was a number 13 on the bottom. And I sold it for like $50-some on eBay. And it was in one of the boxes with the glassware. So any jars that have like number 13, because number 13 is the superstitious, however you say it, number. That doesn't bother me. But some people like to collect that stuff. I do have several number 13 ball jars. I have the clear, the aqua. I also have an amethyst ball number 13 jar. Yard sales is a good place to buy it, to resell. If we see in the newspaper where a yard sale is going to be with the address, what we do is we will go to that house the day before and say, sorry about that, my battery died. Okay, so with yard sales, if we see the address, we'll go to the house the day before and we will offer them a flat rate for all of the stuff. If they don't want to do a flat rate, that's fine. If we can go through it then, we'll pay them a little bit of extra money. That's fine also. So you have storage unit auctions. Bid on what you see. You don't want to bid on a box that says jewelry, because 9 times out of 10, there's not jewelry in it. Auction houses is excellent. Ours, I absolutely love to death. He has an auction every other Friday. Sometimes he has them every Friday. But I'm going to call him tomorrow and talk to him and see if he will let me do a live vlog from his auction house. If not, look at Auction Zip or just get on Google. Just go on Google and type in the city and state you're in and put auction. There should be links that come up under that showing local auctions around you. The day before the auction, or so many days before the auction, for our auction house that we go to, he has all the stuff lined out, all of the box, because he has box lots and then he does individual items. So we can go the day before the auction and preview. We can see everything that's going to be at the auction. And what we do is, if we like what we see in the box, and if for some reason we're not going to be able to make it to the auction, for whatever reason, our dog is absolutely petrified of thunderstorms, we cannot leave her alone and go to the auction. And what we do is we look through the box and see what is the maximum amount that we want to pay for that box. Say there's a box lot of glassware. Okay, my maximum bid for glassware flat out is going to be $15. Okay, on top of that, you're going to have to add buyer fees and taxes. So you might as well figure $20. Okay, when we buy those box lots, we buy it for that one item that we know is going to pay for that whole entire box plus another round of money. if we can't go to the auction, what we do is we leave what's called a left bid or an absentee bid, and we write down on a card our maximum bid. If we win, they will call and let us know. If not, then we're SOL. So a local auction house is an excellent opportunity. You get to network with people. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. We've made a ton of new friends at the auction houses. Some really, really nice people, interesting people. You see stuff that you've never seen and never will see again in your life. Some really, really neat stuff that you see at auction houses. I mean, just, it is astonishing at some of the stuff that we see. I think one of my favorite things is the old family photos. I really love those. Those are actually really good sellers on eBay also. Yard sales, some people don't know what they have. Some people like us know what we do have, but we won't let people undercut us. So when we have a yard sale, we pretty much hold our bottom line. And what I do is, like we're getting toward the end of yard sale season, what I do is I'll go to the store and get a bunch of cardboard boxes, and I will take those boxes and tape them up. Fill this box for 10 bucks. Fill this box for 20 bucks. Fill this box for 5 bucks. We get stuff going quick like that. At the end of the year, what's left over, what we do is we take it to the Humane Society thrift store and we do what's called a flush. And what that is, we get rid of the old and get ready for the new at the first of the year. Humane Society thrift stores, we absolutely love them. We give them a lot of our business because the money that we give is going for a good cause, as well as the stuff we give. We do not thrift at the Goodwill. I had a friend that worked at the Goodwill. She was telling me about the clothing that they get that had lice and bed bugs on them. No thanks, not worth it, not coming in this house, not going to happen. When we do buy storage units that does have clothes, I don't know my clothing. I do not fool with the time to authenticate it unless it's like a Coach bag or something like that. I have several friends that are really good with the Coach and Michael Kors and all that good stuff. They know if it's authentic or not. They know. So clothes, I got several pieces of clothes I need to get listed. What I have found, the best clothes to sell are anywhere from 3X and up. Those are the best selling that I have found. And other than that, the clothes that we find, they go straight to the Humane Society thrift store. We don't even fool with the clothes. My word of advice is, when I see a lot of people posting saying, "What is this?" and posting a picture of it, try to do the research yourself, because 50% of the people is going to help you. The other 50% of people is going to mislead you. So start doing the research on your own. Start just typing in the Google search engine. For example, a leg brace that we got at the auction for $1. It was leather, it was metal, it was vintage. There was only one word on it, and I can't remember what it was, but it started with an H. I could not find anything out on it. On Google, on Yahoo, on eBay, nowhere. So that's good or bad. It could be bad that they don't bring much money, or it's good, it's rare, and it'll bring a lot of money. I ended up just listing what I knew on eBay. In the title, I put the first word, it was a H, and I put metal, leather, vintage, leg brace. And I put a question mark, and I put in the description, I have no idea what this is. I purchased it at an auction. You be the judge. And yes, in all of my item descriptions, I do have, this item has come from an auction. I have seen people say that when the buyer found out that the item came from an auction, they said they wanted to cancel it. For myself, I would rather tell a buyer straight up where it came from than to go through the hassle of canceling and all that. I'd rather eliminate all hassle straight up and right up front than to have to go through cancel. And when we were selling a lot of clothing, we had a lot of returns because for the most part, what I believe happened, people just wore the clothing one time and that was it. So that's the reason why we got our clothing. And it really didn't bring a whole lot of money either. But then you have stuff that does pay good money. Football jerseys and stuff like that. It just, the problem when you get into a lot of stuff like that, from me, my opinion, is authentication. So, gosh, my mind is going to a blank. I should have just wrote all this stuff down and I would have just been able to fly through this, but there's just so much to it. If you have friends or family that's moving, or neighbors if they're moving, tell them if there's anything that you don't want, no matter what it is, set it to a side in boxes. If you want to sell it, I'll give you a flat fee for it, or I'll sell it to you and cut the profit in half. That is another thing that we do. I have an aunt right now getting ready to move from Northern Virginia down to close to where we live. And I told her to set her stuff back. That we'll pay her for it, or I'll sell it for her and we'll split the profits in half. But since she is my aunt, I'm going to give her all of the money. I'm not going to keep any of it. I just want to help her out. But look in your home. For a good example today, I looked up the little tin canisters, whatever you want to call them, that pepper, your seasoning, the pepper seasoning is in. Those jokers sell for hotcakes on eBay. I had no clue. So when I started doing selling the 2-liter bottles, people are using this stuff for crafts, and I had no idea that this stuff was going to be selling this good. So anything, before you put it in the trash can, we do not dumpster dive, first off. No. That's nasty. No, I'm just not into that stuff. No. We don't dig through the trash. When our neighbors and friends and family gives us stuff, they've put it in bags and held it back for us. They have not dug it out of the trash. We do not dig through the trash. That ain't gonna happen. Some people dumpster dive and go through the trash. More power to you. But that's not what I do. So, my nose is so itchy. The weather is changing. So, in your house, if you haven't used it in the past year, sell it, get rid of it. Make that money. Put that money back. So, storage units, auction houses, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets is another good source. Friends, family, and neighbors that are moving. Look in your own home. Go room to room and clean it out and just ask yourself, do I need this? Chances are probably not. I mean, at our local auction house, and I keep going back here because I really, really love this business, and I hope he lets me do a live vlog from there because I think that y'all are really, really like that. Case in point, the reason why I speak so highly of auction houses. A few years ago, he had an auction, an estate auction, and there was a huge box, probably 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot, I guess. It was packed full of kitchen utensils. Myself, I've been doing yard sales for 20 years. And I knew if I put 50 cents each on them, I was going to make a killing. Well, I ended up paying $10 for the whole box, plus buyer fees, so which was about $13. So there's a flea market called the Hillsville, Virginia flea market. They have on Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends, and it usually goes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But even the week before that, the people are having yard sales then. My husband and I had set up that year with a friend and her family. So I get to digging through the box in the bottom. I'm a bottom feeder when it comes to boxes. That's the first place I go to, is the very bottom of a box. There was 2 knives in the very bottom that still had the paper sheath on them. And something just told me to take them out and keep them. Well, I had several plastic bags of cookie tins. Those also sell really good. We had bought 7 trash bags. I think there was about 50 cookie tins. We sold them for $1 each. We only paid like $5 for them, and I found that on the Facebook Marketplace. So that was that, and a couple other things was the only things that we've ever bought off the Facebook Marketplace. Other than that, we don't fool with the Facebook stuff. So I hollered at my husband. I said, go get those 2 knives and put them under the seat in the truck. So he went and got them, put them under the seat. We got home that night. We were sunburned. We were tired. We were wore out. We still had 2 more days of this to go. And it was 90 and 100 degrees. So I looked them up on eBay that night. And I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, but they're whooshed off knives. So I had to research them on Google and eBay. I really wasn't finding that much out about them. But they had a special emblem on the end of them. So I listed them on eBay, and no more than I put them on eBay, I got a phone call I got a message 5 minutes later, and this guy was like, call me, please. So he kind of wrote out his phone number, and I called him. And he said, I will buy those off from you right now for $75 for buy it now, and I will pay for them right now and give you positive feedback. And I was like, okay. So we done made about $100 off that box of kitchen utensils. And just that one day alone. So so I changed it to a buy it now, and the gentleman and I had a nice conversation, and he was telling me about all the knives that he collects and everything. And so after about 2 hours, he said, I guess I'm going to let you go so I don't bore you anymore about my knives. And he ended up telling me that the 2 knives that I sold him were the first ones that the company had made, and they're rare to come across, and they sell for $150 each. And I was like, oops. So I sucked it up to experience. But on the other hand, lesson learned, we did make good money off of that one box alone. I mean, we turned that $13 box into probably about $250 by Sunday, which is the 3rd and last day. Thank God that's a long day, because we have to get up at 4 in the morning and drive 45 minutes to unpack and have everything ready to go. So, this is pretty neat here. This is one thing that I did find on as a Facebook auction page. I don't know if y'all can see that really good, but something just jumped out at me with this, and so I guess I'm going to put this on eBay under costume jewelry. We do have a Facebook page. My husband is managing it while I do the YouTube, the eBay, and a few other things, Craigslist and all that, because we do sell on Craigslist also. eBay, sellers, and discussion. I am so stupid. My mind is at a total blank right now. I can't even remember the name of my own Facebook. Hey, what's the name of our Facebook page? My husband's going to smack me. eBay selling resources and discussion. I'm just horrible. I should know that stuff. That's just wrong. Bang. Okay. So, eBay selling resources and discussion. You can post anything that you want on there. Anything. Just one post a day. Vlogs. I absolutely love vlogs, because to me that's hands-on. That's raw. You can see the person. You can feel their emotion. you can get a better idea of what's going on. You can post any question. The only thing that I'm leery of is you posting your store or a link to your item. I have been seeing some stuff on other Facebook, eBay pages that sellers are starting to report other sellers. I'm not a fan of that stuff. That is for eBay to police. That is not for me as a seller or any other seller to police another seller's eBay page. One, I don't have time for that. And two, it's really none of nobody's business what anybody else's store is or items is or anything. Our Facebook page, what we want to do is to help people identify stuff, give them the right information. I ask that if you do post information about something, like if someone comments and says, hey, do you know anything about, say, this bottle here? If I post and say, does anybody know anything about this bottle here, the manufacturer, what beverage it was or whatever, if you're going to tell me what this is, awesome. But if you have a link to where you can attach it so I can read it, that is also what I want to see with the page, is to be more resourceful instead of just opinionated. I want to see more resources on it. Again, like I say, 50% of the people are going to help you, 50% are going to mislead you. So that's why I say if you have a link to kind of confirm or help that person identify this, whatever it is, or to help them, that would be awesome. Even stuff on, if you even have any questions about eBay or just anything about buying and reselling, it doesn't necessarily have to be eBay. It could be Craigslist. It could be using the Facebook Marketplace. It could be yard sales. It could be information on these 100-mile yard sales. I know in Hillsville, Virginia, they have the Memorial Day and Labor Day flea market. They have that flea market twice a year. And each time over 1 million people comes through that small town just to go through that flea market. But what it is, from the very beginning of Hillsville, way outside Hillsville, all the way to the main drag is what we call it. It is just yard sale after yard sale after yard sale. People are having all these yard sales, and these are very, very curvy, dangerous roads that we live on. Very dangerous. And that's why it's very important to drive slow when you're around stuff like that, and be aware of kids. Kids can run loose from their parents. Okay, so back at the ranch, we have storage units, we have auction houses, we have yard sales, we have Humane Society thrift stores, friends, family, and neighbors that are moving for stuff. Your own home, stuff in your own home. If I don't have a sentimental attachment to it, it's gone. I'm sorry, I don't hoard stuff. I'm getting rid of it. As you can see behind me now, this room is getting cleaned up. We have friends and company coming. I've got to get this room straightened up. There is a reason why it's kind of disorganized. That's a personal reason. It's not bad. It's just there's a few people that knows the situation. So, but I've got to get this room cleaned up. In my office, I've got my eBay station set up. I have it almost completed, thankfully. Knock on wood. All I got to do is paint my wall next. So I hope this helps you. Again, visit our Facebook page. There will be a link in the description up under here. If you click on the drop down menu to the right, it will have all of that information. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications bell. We will have more vlogs coming. I want to do something for like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I want to post an eBay vlog on those 3 days. Thank you for your support. We have gotten so much positive feedback. We've not got the first negative feedback to us, not the first one about anything negative that we are doing. We are doing this to help others. We have struggled a few times financially. We know the struggle is real, and we know that there's a lot of households out there that struggle. And by us sharing our information, we hope that that helps someone. We've even had people to message us and say, hey, I would like to donate some money to you for your time and your information. I don't want your money. I love it and thank you, but that's not why I'm doing this. Our YouTube channel is not even monetized. I can prove that. We're not going to be monetized because there's a couple bad words that get said in some of the vlogs, and that's just how it is. But that's not the point of having this YouTube channel. I don't care about monetization. I do not care about it. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to help others. But there's parts of our life that we want to share that others don't get to see. So 2 ATVs in our life, we ride ATVs all the time, and our life. That's going to include our dog, our adventures at the creek, the places we go. We like to travel and stuff. And I know I keep getting off subject, but I'm just trying to bring everybody down on a personal level. I just want to say thank you. And I know my husband's in the other room. He's going to say thank you too for your support, the encouragement, the positivity. Keep it positive. I hate negativity. Negativity, life is just too short. I almost died. And I learned then that negativity gets you nowhere in life. Fix it, move on, and make life positive from there moving forward. Thank you for the support. You all are amazing. The comments, the messages, we are so astonished and amazed and just overwhelmed by the show of support and positivity that you all are showing us. And even if our vlogs help one person, that's all that matters to us. That is our goal in this, is to help. And hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Then that way you're emailed. Make sure your email address is correct. That way you're emailed when we do post a new vlog. Don't forget to hit this like button on here. And don't forget to share it. Sharing is one of the main ways that we can network with each other and get these ideas and everything, and everybody make money, be more resourceful. You have no idea who you're going to meet by doing storage units and going to auctions and stuff. We've met several famous people, and we've actually got to be good friends with them. That will be in a later vlog because one of them is really, really cool. Y'all are absolutely going to love that. And hopefully I'll somehow or another do a live vlog with him. I've got to talk with him, so that will be probably a few weeks down the road, but that is in the works. You never know where this is going to take you. You never know the stuff that you'll find at auctions. We never buy anything in the store anymore. We always end up finding it at the auction. All of our cooking dishes and everything come from the auction. We have found that the older stuff, the vintage stuff, that's the best made stuff, and that's what we buy. And furniture, we do really good. Like we live close to a really, really big college. So when we go to the auction, we buy the furniture. Say if we buy a chest of drawers for $30, we mark it up to $75. And so there's $45 profit. So there's profit to be made. And another thing too, if you're buying storage units, the best time to buy a storage unit is when college is out, like when they graduate. About a month after that, the kids would just basically desert the colleges. Also, you can get hooked up with some real estate agents, property management companies. You'll go in and clean out all the trash and everything if they let you have it. 99% of the time, they will let you have it. Then they hire a company to come in to clean like the carpets, the floors, and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of resources out there. There's driving down your street, there's something for money to be made on. So I'm going to end this here. My mind is going blank. I'm tired. It's almost 2:30 in the morning. Storage units, auction houses, yard sales, friends, family, and neighbors, yourself. Just look all around you. There's stuff to be sold, stuff to make money on. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll receive a notification when we upload a new vlog. Like it and share this vlog. Also visit our Facebook page, and I will put the link in the description. I am so stupid. I feel bad. I should be able to remember that, but I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why. But that's all I have for tonight. I hope this helps. This is a sneak into where we get our stuff from. If I think of anything else, I'll do update. Vintage, I can tell you right now, the stuff that we're finding that is selling really good is parts and vintage items. I'll step back for a second. About 2 years ago, we bought a box of 100 high-speed crossover cables for computers. I bought the whole box for $1. I sold them for the cables for $14.99 with free shipping on eBay. We sold the whole entire box within a month. So, like I say, you can find deals at auctions like that. But when you go to an auction, like an auction house where we go to, it's what's inside the stuff is what you can find stuff in. There was one box we bought that had a little tiny cedar box in it, and it was pushed down on the bottom. And again, I'm a bottom feeder. I go to the very bottom of the box. That's where I go to, and I start digging.